Hey y'all, anybody got any quarters? Check it out. I can't make the horse work. I ain't got no change.
I give up.
I did it for you.
He did it for me. What's going on, everybody? It's been hectic. I almost didn't do this, and we might not do this for very long because I still don't feel great. I've had a headache all day, and I'm the only one here with the pup. So, and I doubt if there's going to be very many people on here. Fridays have exceedingly started to suck for these live feeds. So, if we don't have a big showing, if we don't have a bunch of people, we'll, and I'm not doing Rumble right now. So, I think that's part of the problem with stuff. So there's only 7 people here now. I know that Bees is probably still running, giving away something. Who knows? So 7 people here, and I meant I bet 6 out of the 7 are members. Let's do a roll call. 7 people here. How many people? Who all's here? Let me know who's here. I see that it's Gamers Anonymous, Robert Douglas, Will B. Who else is here? Oh, it's gonna be a slow night. Be a slow night. If there's not interaction, I'm just gonna end it. Can you hear me? Bubbles is here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people here. I could sit here and just watch the screen. What's everyone got in pocket? I guarantee you, Wilby has got his Norseman and his Beg Letter XL, which I did not carry today, but it's out. It was out for a video. Will B woke up for this? Well, good for you. The other problem is YouTube has changed. Oh, see, now it's 6. Yeah, I don't know. If this is how it's gonna be, I'm not just gonna. I got other stuff to do. I absolutely do. I have a puppy that is sitting in there crying right now. That's why I'm wearing the headphones so that I can ignore it. The video that went up today, I was surprised that people didn't watch it. But I do know that YouTube changed their American Lawman. It's a good knife. I know that YouTube changed their things, and you guys might want to check this when you go in. When you look at how you've got your stuff in your feed, there is now there's an additional item on your thing that YouTube has set up, and I would show you on the screen, but I can't. So if you have got like when you go to a channel, it's gonna show you their popular videos and stuff. You've got to kind of change. You've got to go in and check all your settings on YouTube, because they've changed everything. It's a lot like they did on Twitter, where like Twitter, like you don't actually have like the current, like most recent. Now it says for you, and I'm like, well, where's the most recent? Because I don't see what I'm looking for. And if there's only gonna be 7 people here, you know what? And they're all paying members, this would be better served for me just to put on a movie and send a link to Norseman, Wee Zyphus, Migaron Valona, Benchmade Rift, Ronin 2. Bubbles, you've got that 229. Is that the one with the kickstop? It's gonna be a boring live feed. Because I have a problem with the kickstop one. And that's it does not have the typical choil. Yeah, see? It doesn't have the typical choil that I'm used to on a Chavez. The Chavezes all had the same basic design and shape, and they were all pretty much the same. The choil was kind of small, but they all had the basic shape. And it's not that I don't like a knife that doesn't have a choil. Like this doesn't have a choil, like a sharpening choil or anything. It's not that. It's just when you have a knife that historically has always had the same design and you change it, I usually don't like it. Bees is still alive? Yeah, even with bees live, I should still have more than 7 people. But the whole thing is like, do like I've got 7 people here and they're all paying members. I could easily just turn this off and have all the paying members watch a movie. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous, and it's almost like I said, it's almost a waste of time to do it. I still like having uh I still like having the live feeds, but like does it make sense for me to do it? No, not really. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I don't like the new and it probably won't ever grow on me because I'm stubborn. I'm very stubborn when it comes to that. So I don't know. It's one of those things that's just like, sh- is it probably say as good as the other knives? Yeah, probably. But the fact is, like, it's as different. I mean, basically, for me, it kind of makes it a different knife. It looks completely different. Um, and as much as I like the kickstop, I don't think I would like that knife. I like the thumb stud operation on the original. Does that one have thumb studs? Bubbles, does yours have thumb studs? If somebody would like to go over and tell the folks on Bees Blades that I'm live and starting my live feed, that would be cool. What drama shit is still going around on feeds? See, that's the other thing. Like, if you took away the thumb studs, I don't want that knife. Like, if you take away the thumb studs on that knife, I'm not gonna want it. I loved the thumb studs on the 228, the 229 Ultramar Street, the little one that I had, the little smaller one. I loved the thumb studs on that. That's You basically have removed something that I absolutely loved about that knife. What drama shit is Robert talking about? Because I am unsure. Yeah. And then here's the thing: a lot of people are like, "Oh, the flipper. You should get the flipper Chavez. You should get the flipper Chavez. It's so much better." But like, I don't like the flipper that Ramon uses, and I told him that when I talked to him the last time. I was like, "I don't like that flipper. It's horrendous looking." So I mean, it's good that the kickstop makes the flipper go away. If it's like his other flipper tabs on his other knives, I don't uh if it's like his other flipper tabs, I'm not gonna like it. I'm just gonna say it right there. I don't like the flipper tabs that he's been using on other knives. They are well, they're hideous. So um oh there's a reason I haven't even engaged in it. Here's the deal. In my opinion, this is the only thing I'm gonna say about it. Brian didn't do anything wrong. He made no profit. The maker took that upon himself. Cry me a fucking river. If you do something above and beyond on your own and then somebody like sells it, that's my take on it. You shouldn't have done any don't here's the takeaway. Don't do something someone doesn't ask. And then you have no room for complaints. So that's my only take on it. Like if you send me a knife for sharpening, I'm not gonna sharpen it, stonewash it, anodize it, and polish it for you. Carl B, what's going on? Well, I have not looked yet. I brought up Blade HQ and I wanted to look at some of the new releases that are on Blade HQ. So I figured we'd do that tonight. Well, wait, we'll give people a little time to show up. I I talked to Jared earlier today about a couple things. So I've got a bunch of videos already filmed. There's going to be videos going up this weekend. And if you're here, I would appreciate if you would drop a like. Um, it's a beautiful day in rainy Ohio. It is currently 59 degrees outside, but it's 69 degrees in here in the studio because I have had the lights on because I filmed a couple things this evening and I had the puppy out here. So I had the garage door closed. So had the garage door closed. So it got hot out here when I was filming. And I'm going to tell you right now, a 9-week-old puppy will make getting anything done difficult. They're more of a pain in the ass than having a child. He's knocked over my studio lights twice. I was trying to film and all of a sudden I realized my film, like, why is the tripod shaking? Because he's chewing on one of the legs of the tripod. He grabbed this knife case, this empty knife case. He grabbed this and carried it halfway across the studio and then dropped it. And then I was like, what are you doing? And I picked it up. And so it's just been because I've been here by myself with him pretty much all day. You know, it's just been ridiculous. So he's currently in puppy prison and I have the door shut so I can't even hear him. Oh, he spilled his water bowl like 4 times in the last 2 days. Actually, more than that. So he spills his water bowl. He'll get to stomping because he wants to play in the water. And the next thing you know, he spilled his entire water bowl. And I've got the mop. We've had to mop the puppy corral like 5 or 6 times. Does the puppy get cake on his birthday? No. Dogs don't need sugar. Hey, I never understood this. People that treat their dogs, as much as I love that dog already, and as much as I loved our other dog, they're not people. And people try to associate human behaviors and things with that puppy. That puppy does not give two. Like my wife was like, she's like, well, why does he keep doing that? I told him no. And I was like, that puppy doesn't remember shit. That puppy doesn't know what you told him no about 5 minutes ago. He does not remember that. He's going to go back and do the exact same fucking thing again. He is 9 weeks old. He has no fucking clue. Oh, well, no, he has one area of the living room. Everything he's corralled in, like he's locked in. He's asleep now. Pretty sure of it. He was almost asleep when I went upstairs to grab my headphones. They are better than people, I will admit. So, yeah, running through the house, thrashing, just terrorizing the cat. And the cat has been guess what? There's 13 people here. You guys get free bell. And you get.
They call me Cuban Pete. I'm the king of a rumba beat. When I play the maracas, I go chick, chicky, boom, chick, chicky, boom. Yeah.
So, there we go. Yeah. And then the other thing too is like I was talking with another YouTuber and they're like, bro, like I don't know what the fuck is going on with ad revenue with YouTube. But theirs is horribly down. And then they're like, like they were like, I reached out to YouTube on Twitter and the only thing they told me to do was to pitch super chats. And I'm like, right? Like YouTube's not being helpful at all. Like anytime you reach out to them with any problem, like all my live feeds are getting demonetized, like every fucking one of them. And I reach out and I'm like, why are these getting demonetized? And like, well, you can check the status of demonetization, da 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 da, and this on that. And I was like, that's a canned response. They're not responding to anything. The bot is broken. They're not actually responding to everything. And people chime in and are like, this is the same shit they do every time you reach out to them. They won't give you an answer. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything in my live feeds that would warrant it being demonetized. And when I complain about it, and I say, yeah, but here's the thing, I make no money on live feeds now because you're demonetizing all of them. And their response is, you can always push membership and just remind your viewers that super chats and memberships are available. I'm like, every time with you guys, like every time I reached out to them, they're fucking horrible. So they're bad. They're the worst. Dealing with YouTube is the worst. And then I had 2 videos that got taken down. And I'm fighting with them to get those videos put back up because there was no, I'm like, okay, why were the videos taken down? And there's no response. There's no response. So I put in a what do you would call it? I put in a request to have the videos reinstated. And I was like, there's no actual reason. Like, they give you no reason for anything they do. So those 2 videos go down. Those 2 videos go down and they can't give me a valid fucking reason as to why. I'm like, why were they taken down? And they're like, well, you can contest it. Just here's the link to the video. It'll be active for the next, like, I think I have like a week. I have 7 days to put in my appeal. And like, you watch your video, and if you think it still follows terms and services, I was like, well, it would be great if you could just tell me what exact thing in that video is the reason. Because then I could go back and I could pull the old video out of the archive, and I could possibly edit it and make it fit. But yeah, that's the gist of our current YouTube struggles that are going on today. Where did everybody go? There's 12 people here. I'm not gonna go to the trouble of looking at all this shit, because the thing is, if I start looking at these before people show up, people are going, "Hey, what are we doing?" And I'll just like, I'll wait till there get to be either more people here, or we'll do 30 minutes and then I'll end. Because I don't know what to do with Fridays, guys. I really don't. I'm not trying to sound like I'm fucking like, all right, this motherfucker. But the thing is, like, I spoke to Bees about the time frame when he does his lives. I spoke to him about it in a DM, and I said, okay, if we can't, I'll just move mine an hour. And yeah, that works. But here we are now. I've moved my entire live feed an hour further, and he still is running way longer. Like, he's like, well, that still gives you an hour. I was like, no, like, if I start at 7:30, we'd almost be done right now, and he's still live. That's just, I'm starting to kind of get frustrated with it. So I don't know. Maybe we just stop doing Fridays, because it's just really hard to compete with a channel that gives away fucking 8 garbage knives every night. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I want free shit. I want free shit. I want free shit. So Thomas Connolly is here, but I have been all day carrying this PMP. You're going to get a video about this PMP, and it's going to talk about something, I would say, as much as it pains me to say it, I would say that this $300-ish PMP Aries is on par with my it's on par with my Norseman. So well, I see that you did, Al. I thank you. I appreciate it. What's the blade steel? This is S90. PMP Aries. I don't know if you can see it or not. S90V. So yeah, I wonder who that was. I really, as the more I carry this in concert with my PMP or with my Norseman, like, as far as shape, blade and everything, totally different. But I mean, as far as quality and performance and just overall feel, I'm going to say it's up there. It could be the newness of it. It could be the fact that I just recently got it and it was a gift, and I'm still in that honeymoon phase. But I have found issues with it. Chunk's hopefully asleep and not chewing holes in my couch. He's in there by himself. So, what's up, Rocky? I suppose I could pull up the actual. Muted. Trying to pull this up so I don't miss any milestones or chats that don't show up in the thing. But yeah, Chunks just terrorizing the shit out of the cat and stuff like that. But I do have a new arrival. There's going to be a video in the next couple days, I believe. This is the cord, or as I like to call it, the chord. If you wanted to spell it with a cord, you could have spelled it C-O-R-D or K-O-R-D. But if you put an H in it, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to spell it like it looks, and it's the chord. I'm going to pronounce it like it's spelled, the chord. I'm going to start calling school shul. I mean, British already call a schedule, which by all rights, they should. So you spell it C-H-O-R-D. I'm going to pronounce it that way, the chord. This is a great night. Ooh, listen to that. Oh, wait. Button locks always have a really cool sound. That is one of the best things about button locks. This, you can reverse flick off the thumb studs. I mean, you kind of have to get your fingers in a different position, but I do it all the time. And then when I try to film it, I can't do it. The flipper and the thumb studs on this are great. I know, but why do we have to have 8 different ways to spell the same thing? Why? Cord. It's pronounced the same way. Why do we have to have all these weird combinations of letters? So C-O-R-D could have easily been the musical note. That's fine. And everybody's like, oh, it's because it comes from Latin or it comes from that. Yeah, but we don't speak Latin and we don't speak French and we don't speak Spanish. We speak English. If you're going to spell it C-H-O-R-D, I'm going to pronounce it chord. And it's not aluminum. It is a steel liner with the gray or smoke G10. So, man, it's got a good sound. And all of those new CJRB button locks that they've had come up. This one, the Echo. Now it's still the prototype because I'm keeping the prototype. I have the production ones here. I also got a bunch of stuff in from QSP, so that video will come up. Aluminum. My chemistry teacher, Mr. Lear, used to say, you know how you spell aluminum? He's like, if you do it it's like you'll get tired of writing aluminum because there's so many experiments to do with aluminum because it's really reactive. It's actually one of the most used it was one of the most used elements that we used in chemistry. One of the most used, because it's very reactive. There's a lot of things you can do with it. It reacts with so many things. So he was like, "This is how you use it. A-L-U, bunch of dots, 2 dots. There are a bunch of bumps, couple dots." He goes, "If you put that in your report," he's like, "I'm going to know what it is." He's like, "Don't think that you have to spell aluminum out." He goes, just as long as I can see the A-L-U and then a bunch of bumps and a couple dots." He's like, "That's how you do it." And I was like, "That's fucking great." And he goes, and I was like, "That's hilarious." And he was like, "Well, I'm going to tell you, in this class, you're going to get tired of writing aluminum. You're going to get tired of it." I was like, "That's probably true." I have got the riff somewhere, and I don't know where I put it. I have the riff prototype, but I also have, so you guys are going to get a bunch of I should do a giveaway. I should do a giveaway right now and just have the 11 of you. And then you could go over like, hey, guess what? He didn't tell anybody, but he was doing a giveaway. I should do that. As a matter of fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a giveaway for the 12 of you guys. Fuck them. They want to sit over there? That's fine. We're going to give away trying to find it. Hang on. I'm trying to find it. I have it somewhere. I'm trying to find. I have that remet. Give me a second. Give me a second. I just had it yesterday. I have that remet that I already finished the review process on. And there it is. There it is. Let's see. Yep. See, that's what I'm going to, for you guys being here, I'm going to reward you because they don't need to know we're doing a giveaway. I found the riff, by the way. All right, then I'll do the giveaway for 10 of you. People are leaving. That's fine. Let me pull up. I'm trying to pull up the StreamYard giveaway tool. Hashtag not a shill. So we're going to do this. Which remet? We're going to do this remet right here. And we're going to present a share screen. We're going to do hashtag not a shill. That's how you enter. Type in hashtag not a shill, all one word, all lowercase, because I forgot to put the caps on. So yeah, this is a great little knife. It's about like a $50 knife. I think they're 40. Now I'm going to tell you right now, I can't guarantee the likelihood of how soon you're going to get that knife, but you can ask. Sometimes it takes me a while to get stuff shipped out. It's just because I spend so much time doing other stuff that for the channel, I don't go and ship stuff as often as I should. So 6 entries, 13 people here. So if you haven't entered, you probably should do so. And here's how it works. We're going to do this for another 10 minutes. The 13 people that are here, I'll do this giveaway, and then I'm going to end the live feed because I'm not going to run the electricity. As much as I love all you guys, not to at all sound like I don't appreciate you guys stopping by. If I'm not getting super chats and I'm not getting new members, and I'm running lights and using software and using electricity, that I could turn everything out here off and watch TV on my phone. So, that is your thing. Now, this is a really good little knife. I will touch up the edge on a ceramic before I send it, but this thing has held up really, really good. As far as how well it has cut. So this is a 9CR black G10 liners. It's not the most attractive knife, but I'll tell you right now, this has been a really comfortable cutter. So, oh, so the video that went up yesterday, you guys saw that I was disappointed. BWD, do it. Just throw it in. It's fine. If you win and you don't want it, then I can always redraw. It just makes it more fun when there's more participation. No, what I was saying was, so that Kaiser, that I was disappointed in. Um, that Kaiser that I was disappointed in, I was able to fix the little bit of lock play. I tightened it over. Now, is it still got some issues? Yeah, I think that that was something like they probably needed to replace that knife, but I was able to get it to where it didn't just disengage. So it had a little bit of stick. I think that either the lock face was ground a little bit too much or the radius was ground a little too deep at at the very start of the radius. So when I did that, it fixed it. But my neighbor over here has got a friend. It started a new job, needed a work knife, and I was like, you know what? I've got this knife here. I'm never going to carry it again. It was going to wind up being a giveaway anyway, and I just gave it to him because it's a good knife. I'd already sharpened it. I told him I was like if you're just doing some light cutting, it'll work great for you. And he was appreciative. It's a decent knife. So I'm not going to reach out to Kaiser about their warranty service. It's not that big a deal. I told him like I showed him the issue with it and he goes, that's not even going to be a problem for him. He doesn't care. So it wasn't ever a safety issue. My biggest problem with it was that it was something they couldn't fix. And it was the edge alignment and uh the edge alignment and overall blade profile that didn't it just didn't cut for me. It just didn't cut, and I was like, man, that's so. And I was so bummed because it was such a good looking knife. Uh, and I was so surprised at how much better this little beast cuts. This is a little beast of a knife too. This is a Firebird FB 924. Um, this is the cool thing about this is it is a very good little size knife. You guys saw the video today, large knife versus small knives. This falls into such a comfortable grip um, when you flip it open. It just basically like when you hold it, you flip it, it falls into a pinch grip, which is how I'm going to use a knife this size anyway. But it is really comfortable. So I was surprised. Sorry. First day in pockets on this. I filmed it already. You guys will see it here in the next couple days. I was really surprised at how well a knife this small cut. But it's nice because it's got such a broad blade. The transition comes down nice and gentle. So you got a really good cut on it. And I think that's the thing. I like about this is even though that's really thick blade stock, it transitions down. It transitions down to such a very thin behind the edge profile on this. And I'm like, it's like the best of both worlds. And S90V just takes such a terrifying edge. I do need to sharpen this now. I was trying to see what all I could do with this for as big as this knife is, as big and beefy and bulky. It screams through cardboard. Just Nate is a new member. Sorry about that. I don't have the kangaroo flute. I had to put it up. Had Puppy in the shop all day. He decided he was going to chew all over everything. And the one thing that I really didn't want chewed all over was the kangaroo flute. So I absolutely absolutely put the kangaroo flute up. So with the RGE, what was the issues with the RGE? I don't. What do you mean the RJE? I'm trying to see. Where'd that even go? Did that comment, where'd it go? I just saw something. What was the issues with the RJE? I'm gonna reach out to Lefty about it. Any issues with this knife? There are a couple issues. I'm not gonna lie. As good as this knife is, there were a couple of small issues. Um, and I took care of one of them myself. One of them, I got to reach out to PMP. I've got to get some new pocket clip screws. I stripped the pocket clip screws because they're T6s. I can get them out, but I can't get them in as tight as I want. So there's a little bit of pocket clip play. I rectified it by tightening this side real tight because this screw goes all the way through the body. So now to take it apart, I have to take the body screws off of this side and then the pivot out on the other side. So not such a big deal. Like that's not a major thing. And there is like when you get it, like that was very, very, very abrupt right there. You can see this side still is. And what it would do is when you try to push it down in your pocket, it would catch and it wouldn't go all the way in your pocket. And if you look where that is, that's not much of your pocket clip. So it would sit really high. So you had to play with it. So what I did was I just took a file and then a really fine abrasive stone and I knocked that lip off and rounded it a little bit. And I may take it and put it on a Scotch-Brite wheel, just ever so slightly, just to kiss that and round that over some more so that it slides down in the pocket all the way. And then when I sharpen it the first time, I'm probably going to add a bit of a sharpening choil. I'm not a huge fan of the plunge. So those are things that are wrong with it. And I didn't have any of this. Those are things I did not have with my Norseman. So, but when I say that this is kind of on par with the Norseman, it's just the overall feel in hand. The overall feel in hand is always one of the big things, and this thing just melts. Here, let's get that out of the way for a minute. This thing just melts in your hand. And it's really well done. Like if you gave me this knife, I'm not gonna lie. If you gave me this knife and took the markings off of it, I'd be looking at it as probably a mid-tech. And if you were to ask me how much this knife probably cost, if you told me S90V, really consistent, clean milled pattern on it and stuff like that, a pocket clip that's not an afterthought, was basically built to be in that knife, I would have told you, I imagine this knife was probably $500. I'm just gonna use some diamond files. I'll just cut a small sharpening choil in there with a diamond file, a little teardrop shape, like a half teardrop shape or a half heart, where it comes in and then it's slow. What I'll do is I'll go in with a round file, and then I'll take a flat file and I'll just roll it down into the curve, just so that I'm not hitting that plunge when I'm sharpening. But honestly, the machining and everything on this, I would have thought $500 knife. And I'll tell you, that's what happened to me with the Migron Valona. Jared did not tell me how much this knife cost. And because that's how I usually roll, I fly into it blind. I do the, guys, we are doing a giveaway. I'm not publicizing it as a giveaway, but I am doing a giveaway. So if you guys are here, drop a like, please. Please, guys. And if you follow channels and you enjoy their content, I'm not trying to tell you like to do it here. It's been across the board that people aren't doing it. There's a lot of my other channels that I follow that have said the same thing. People forget about the super chats. So if you're following a channel and you like their content, just remember they're doing it for free. Drop them. I mean, if it's like $1 or $2, if you can afford to do it. Like I try to do it. I do it on Jared's channel all the time because I appreciate Jared's content. So just I'm not saying to do it here. I'm just saying, like, if you're on B's channel, you're on Jared's channel, you're on Tri-State's channel. I know how hard all of us work for content. Drop him a super chat if you can afford it. Like even if it's only like $1 or $2. That's what I usually drop on Jared's. So, but this, I had no idea how much this cost, and I'm thinking low side 150, high side 250, because he told me it was a budget knife. I'm like, maybe on sale $100, right? I was like, $100, but MSRP probably 150, right? And then I looked the price up and I was mad. Like, I was upset. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This hits so high above its weight class. So this is another one that just really surprised me. But yeah, this one, all of the PMP knives I've seen so far, the Berserker, this one, that big boy, my PMP big boy, probably one of the, that's what this case was set up for. Because I don't have, here's the other thing. All the PMP knives that I've had come in these really nice cases. My big boy did not, which, you know, hey, I get it. So, you know, I imagine that I could get the guy that gave me the big boy as a gift. I wasn't going to complain. The knife was a gift. But this thing, holy crap, probably one of the best knives I've ever had. Not a joke. This thing, another one that I guarantee hits way above its weight class. This knife is just shy of perfect. It really is. And these things were like, they're like $180. I've put up links to them in videos. And I mean, if Will could pull my Blade HQ, if Will could pull my Blade HQ link up, you guys can go and you can pick up the blue anodized version. Just listen to that. Man. How old is the hook in my hat? My dad got this hook for my dad got these for both of us when I was still in high school. So I joined the Navy after high school, and that was 31 years ago. So probably, Thomas, that hook in my hat is probably 32, 33 years ago that I got that. And I had lost it, and I found it in a box of stuff, and I put it on my hat after my father passed away, and I put it back on my hat. So it's been, and they were meant for hats. He bought these. They were the lucky golden hook, was what, they were in Cabela's. We got them in Cabela's in Wheeling, West Virginia, I think. We were walking around at the Cabela's in Wheeling, West Virginia, looking at basically if you've never been to a Cabela's store, it's basically a zoo, except all the animals are dead. It really, really is. Rocky just gifted 5 memberships. Guys, that's the other thing. If you got gifted a membership and you don't use the benefits, you're missing out, because there's a lot of people that get these gift memberships and then they never go to the gilded server. So if you just got gifted a membership, go to the community tab where all the comments are, or just go to the members section on my main channel and go to the gilded server. That is the main benefit. I have never logged, like, I'll wake up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, can't sleep, and I'll check the gilded server, and there's still people in there doing stuff. 2 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday. That chat server is always bumping. Yeah. So thank you very much, Rocky. If you got gifted one of those memberships, join the gilded server. When you get into the server, make sure that your username on the server matches your YouTube username so I can validate you against the members list. And then send me a DM and I will activate you in the chat rooms. I have to do that because we have a guy that constantly tries to get in, and all he does is troll and start fights and stuff like that. So I've completely blocked him, and there are rules to it. So typically, you know, I've talked about it before, but that's for the members. And I'm going to do a members giveaway tomorrow. I'm going to film it here on I'm going to film it here on StreamYard, record it, and then I'm going to post a link to it as a members only video on YouTube and on the Gilded server. And whoever wins, I'm going to DM them through the Gilded server. So that's the only way you're going to find out if you win. If you're not using those things that are available to you as a paying member, then you're not getting those benefits. And I'm telling you right now, we always Will B can tell you, oh yeah, we'll put in a link to my thing. So this knife is available on Blade HQ. If you scroll up through the comments, Will B put a link to my Blade HQ affiliate link. These are $185. Yeah. It is ridiculous. So we are giving away this knife right here. Not a shill is the entry code. If you are not a subscriber, I would absolutely appreciate if you'd at least just hit the subscribe button. If you're here, hit the like button. There, we'll put it up again. There's the link to Blade HQ. This absolutely is a knife that I'm like, look, at $185, I'm not going to tell you this is a great fucking knife. This is probably one of the best. 14C28N titanium. The edge profile on this is insane. Just screams through everything you want to cut. This is one of the sliciest knives, and it's not at all unattractive. Though I bet the blue looks good. So this thing is awesome. This gets a lot of pocket time too. Like a lot of pocket time. Oh, I did not prioritize this device. So the Riff has released as well. This is the prototype. This is the prototype Riff. And then I have the production Riff and the production cord, or as I call it, the chord. Yeah, the Riff is great. And it does have a couple little minor issues, like the sharpening choil. But the fact is, most of us know how to rectify that issue. And even if you don't sharpen it all the way back, you're not missing out. Very, very attractive knife that right there. I said I was going to give you guys 10 minutes, and I gave you almost 20. We'll do it. I'll tell you what. We'll just wait to the hour mark, and I'll decide at the hour mark if I'm leaving or not. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm tired. That having a puppy in the house, and then my wife is always like, "Well, you got the puppy," and she goes skating with the kid, and she's skating with the kid now, and shit. And I'm like, wait a second. When we got this puppy was supposed to be the kid's fucking dog. Why am I the one? Why am I the cocksucker that's stuck watching this fucking dog all the time? And don't get me wrong, I love the dog. Holy shit. If you have an Echo, do you really need a Pyrite? I will tell you that the Echo and the Pyrite are definitely two different animals. As a matter of fact, I have 3 Echoes and 2 Pyrites, but that's because I have the titanium Pyrite and I have the Pyrite Warning. Now, the Pyrite Warrenclyffe is the best possible version of that knife. But I'll tell you, some people like the Pyrite better than the Echo, which is not me. And it's probably due to hand size chain differences. I like this better, but I will tell you that Warrenclyffe Pyrite is the best possible Pyrite. Now, I absolutely love the Echo. And you're going to, like I said, you're going to notice mine's different. Mine is a prototype, but even without the aperture, I can reverse flick this one with the thumb studs. This is probably Ray Laconico's best design yet, in my opinion. But do you need it? Maybe not. But I'll tell you, they are definitely different knives. And I see the value of both of them. So, yeah, the Riff, all 3 of these knives are great. All of those new, oh wait, somebody dropped a super chat and I missed it. How did I miss that? Hang on. BWD. I'm sorry. I just saw at the very top. It said there was a super chat. I am so sorry. I don't. I know it says kangaroo flute, but the dog was trying to chew all over the kangaroo flute, and I was like, I don't want that. So.
Thank you for being my friend when I needed one.
This fucking guy and that goddamn music. Jesus Christ.
Now I forgot what was the kangaroo. Since you bought the kangaroo flute, you should probably appreciate the fact that I didn't let the dog chew all over it. Yeah, I didn't even see that. I'm sorry. Well, Tyler, I'll tell you, I have got a community post that I did that have got purchase links. If you guys are going to purchase stuff, I would absolutely appreciate it if you would use all up Panzer NZ. See, there we go. So Panzer is a paying member. Panzer's on the Gilded server, and he's in New Zealand. The Gilded server for the paying members is now a worldwide thing. I've got members in Australia, Canada, Europe, and Florida, which should be it's basically its own country. It's like I don't. I said this in a chat. I said this in a chat on Code Blue Cams. I don't know if you've watched. Code Blue Cams is a channel that shows body cam footage, and a lot of it is in a place called I can't remember the name of the town, but it's in Wisconsin. And I've come to the conclusion that if Florida is America's armpit, La Crosse, Wisconsin, that's what it is. La Crosse, Wisconsin must be its rectum, because it is like a GTA server in real life. It is something incredible to watch how much shit happens in La Crosse, Wisconsin. It must be the single it must be the single parent capital of the world. So, I mean, because there is only, for people to act that badly, that has got to be the capital of wayward, of just fathers that walked out on their families. But at any rate, this, I have, 45 minutes from there, Brian. Is it that bad? So here's the thing. Like, if you watch Code Blue Cams, it's always La Crosse, Wisconsin, or just little offshoots areas. And my buddy was like, bro, like all this crap that I see, I was like, well, here's the thing. You live close to La Crosse, Wisconsin. And he goes, so? And I was like, he's like, yeah, but I don't live in La Crosse. And I'm like, yeah, but look, like if you were to look at at a rectum, you have the actual hole. And then you have all those little lines. You have all these little lines that come off of that wrinkly little rosebud. And they get filled with shit too. And that's all those little cities and towns around La Crosse, Wisconsin. They get a little bit of overspray garbage. So I'm like when I watch it, it's almost turned into a game for me. Like Code Blue Cams. And I'm like, I'm betting, like, I bet it's La Crosse, Wisconsin. And like, I'll see the opening video and I'm like, that's not La Crosse. I'm like, but I bet it's close. And then I'll get my phone and I'll look La Crosse, Wisconsin. I'll look, yep, like it's like 5 miles outside of La Crosse, Wisconsin. I'm like, what a fucking shithole. Like, who lives in Wisconsin anymore? Why? Why would you live there? Why do you live there, Brian? Like, you couldn't own a bicycle. Like, what the fuck? There's no goddamn way you could have a bicycle in La Crosse, Wisconsin. You'd have a bicycle for a day. Or a kid would. I mean, because kids don't put their bicycle in the garage and they don't put it in the bed. Like, my bicycle never went in the house. It always sat in the backyard. You couldn't do that in La Crosse. You would never have a bicycle. I went to the Wisconsin Dells a bunch of times when I was in school, all my schools in Great Lakes and A school and stuff. When I was right after boot camp, we would go to Wisconsin Dells all the time. There's a place up there that's just like, it's no shit. It's flat as fuck up there. and we went skiing, and you drive up and you're like, I was like, where are we the fuck going skiing? They built a ski slope on this flat ass area up there in Wisconsin. I can't remember the name of it. Just flat everywhere. And then they just come up and I was like, what the, it looks like a building from the distance. Oh, it's fucking fun to watch donut operator with his bingo cards for the police. Yes, it is. It is a lot of fun to watch that. So we got about 3 minutes left. If you have not hit not a shill in that Christmas Mountain. Is that what it is, Brian? I've been there. Somebody said that that's where what's his name? The guy that died in a helicopter accident, fucking rock star. Guitarist. Said that's where his helicopter crashed. I don't remember. Can't remember who it was. Love the house on the rock, but that's it. Man, I've got so many knives. Did you guys see? Okay. So if you guys saw the collection video I did the other day, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, you have to be here to win. You have got to be here to win. If you're leaving, you're not here, you're not gonna win. I will redraw. So here's how it's gonna work. In 2 minutes, in a minute, I'm gonna draw, and it's gonna tell me a name, and you have 2 minutes to respond. If you don't respond in 2 minutes, I redraw. The first person that actually responds, then what you have to do is you got to send me an email to gunmonkey19 Stevie Ray Vaughan. Yeah. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Exactly. Is that where his plane or helicopter or whatever it was crashed? I've been there at any rate. So if you're not here, you're not going to win. And you've got to send me an email with your name and a picture of you inside your YouTube channel, what it looks like, not just a snapshot of your channel, like logged in on your thing, showing what it looks like inside your YouTube. I don't need your password or anything, but I got to validate it because people are hot trash and they will try to steal things. So that's how it's going to work. And we're going to do it right now. I'm going to draw. Keep in mind, you've got 2 minutes to respond. So I'm going over here to the giveaway tool. We're going to draw it. There are 31 entries. Draw. Nathan Thurman just won. Nathan, you just won. Nathan, Nathan, you can just go ahead and DM me if you're here. Let me know that you saw that you won. Nathan won the knife. Nathan won this knife. So congratulations, Nathan. You have 2 minutes to respond. And then you can, I'm not going to do the thing. No, I'm going to. So Nathan, let me know that you won. Let me know that you saw it. Oh, you want me to redraw it, Nathan? Okay. Nathan says redraw. Draw again. Okay. That's easy. I'm trying to bring it up. Just Nate won. Just Nate won. So just Nate. Let me try and get this here. Just Nate, you've got 2 minutes starting now. Hey, cool. Okay, so Nate, you can also DM me on the Gilded server with your address and everything. Hey, Purple Heart, what time are we doing a live tomorrow, buddy? So I'm probably going to go live on Purple Heart Barbecue's channel. And then to entice you guys, if you are thinking about becoming a paying member or you just got gifted a membership, those 5 memberships, I'm doing a giveaway tomorrow, and I'll show you what I'm giving away because Panzer NZ, Panzer New Zealand, won this a while back, and he decided that he didn't want it, and I just haven't done the redraw. So tomorrow I'm doing a members only giveaway let's get this out of the way. No, exactly the opposite. There we go. I will be giving this away to the paying members tomorrow. So if you're not a member and you would like to get in, what you have to do is follow the join, click the join button down below, and you can become a member and then follow the you just basically follow the community post area where it's going to tell you uh the gilded servers, and then you sign into the gilded server. And I will put up a link to the video of me doing the drawing for this. Depends on what time Polly and I are going to do a live feed. If we're doing a live feed. Now, this has been resharpened by me. These are like 140. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is a very nice little knife. So I'll be giving this away to the paying members sometime tomorrow. I can't give you a definite time, but it's going to be pretty simple. I'm gonna do the video here. I'm gonna save it, and then I will get it out and post it up the link, make it a members only video. It's just going to be real quick. So all I'm doing is I'm just picking one of the members by random. Baseline and premium tier members only. You've got to be a baseline or premium tier member. The other tier, the just looking, they just get the gilded server. So this thing is ridiculous sharp. It took such a good, this is S35VN titanium. I will clean it up. It's got fingerprints and stuff all over it. I'll get it cleaned up and sent out to whoever wins tomorrow. If you're in the United States, if not, I'm not going to try and do it. I'll just redraw it. I apologize to my members that are overseas or in Canada. I'm not dealing with that. I had Robert's stuff set to go, and I've got to figure out, because a buddy of mine was like, it's not going to make it through customs. I was like, what? And he goes, just telling you. I was like, what? He's CBP. He's like, we just did cross training with a bunch of stuff, like what can and can't. He's like, customs and border patrol. He's like, what will make it across the border now and what won't. He's like, we're telling everybody, like, so I was like, what about shipping stuff? And he goes, no. He's like, yeah, you got to figure something out. So I got to figure out what to do. What tier is a gifted member? I believe baseline. Let me look. I believe it's baseline. I don't remember. Rocky, do you remember what the memberships are? When you, because Rocky has donated more memberships than anyone. So I don't remember, but I do believe that they are baseline. Now, I would love to stay and hang out with you guys. Baseline. Yeah, it's baseline. I just got a Best Tech Slither from Tri-State, which made it across. Okay. I mean, things do make it across. I'm going to try, but here's the thing. I got to talk to Robert and see if he wants me to try and redo the thing. I'm going to talk to him. I'll send him a message. But the fact is, there's like $600 worth of knives in that box. Each one of those boxes I gave away for the 10,000 subscribers was like $600. Cheapest knife in the most expensive knife in the box was $300. Each box had a $300 knife in it. So, guys, okay, so I get a lot of cool stuff. I'm going to ask you guys, if you have like double XL shirts, I'm not asking you guys to buy me ones, but if you guys have shirts that have got unique logos and stuff, like this is one of the Jawas from Star Wars. If you guys have shirts that you're not using and have interesting and unique logos on the front, send them, because I love having cool t-shirts that come in to wear on the channel. The problem is, so I have a paying member named Winston Cobretti, and he has sent me a ton of t-shirts. They're always really cool, but a lot of times the cool part of the logo is on the back. So if you guys want to just like do that, you can let me know. You can reach out to me, like email me, and I'll let you know. And I absolutely will wear it. And I'll call you out like, hey, this person sent me this shirt. If you've got shirts or if you have a business, why would you call? Why? So when like if you have a business that you want to send me like a shirt from your business or something like that, absolutely send it and I'll put it on a shirt as long as it's got some cool logo on it, because I love cool t-shirts. And I've got a bunch of them now. But I think it would be cool to have like a whole bunch of different like logos and stuff. Like if you've got a like a car, like anything you've got, like even if it's just like a business shirt, I'll wear it on the channel. I think that would be cool to start doing that. So why should she call me while I'm doing a live feed? I don't understand that. She knows. So Braden Sutton, Brandon Sutton. Braden. That's what I'm gonna keep calling. I've done it for a long time, calling him Braden. So yeah, that just that impromptu giveaway. I wasn't gonna publicize it. I have a lot of I used to have a ton of really cool shirts. But you know, over the years, traveling across the world, moving from country to country, they all got lost. Command to command, people steal shirts. I had some really cool shirts that had like that were okay. So my wife's Japanese, and I had a shirt that she threw away. I had a lot of cool shirts, but I had one that a friend of mine sent me when he found out I was getting stationed in Japan. And he's like, would you wear this? I have, okay, Zorro, I have a Marvin the Martian tie. I had a Marvin the Martian tie that I wore to my friend's wedding. Custom EDC Knives. Hey, man, I got your message. Sorry I didn't respond back. I've been busy running around. I was out. I was doing some stuff, and then I had to take care of the dog. I thought I completely forgot we were talking about the 19th. I thought you wanted to come on tonight, but there you go. So yeah, I have a Marvin the Martian tie that I wore to my friend's wedding. So yeah, I would probably wear a t-shirt that had Marvin the Martian. So
Where is the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
that's as close as I can get with what I got here. I had a Tasmanian devil shirt that a friend of mine stole. That was the thing. Like in the military, people would steal. Like they'd borrow. Like you'd be like, hey, let me borrow your shirt. Like you didn't really own anything. If my shirt fits you, like all the t-shirts were community property. Like everybody wore these shirts. We had a shirt on my first boat that 4 of us took turns wearing, and whoever wore it, they were responsible for either making sure they didn't throw up or sweat in it so heavily that it stunk, so that the next good person could wear it. And it was a shirt that was obviously like a mechanic shirt. So the thing was, in Japan, stuff that like all these retro shirts, like used clothing was huge. So they would buy, and I don't know how they did it. They would buy all these shirts from the United States with just random things like Cleveland Indians shirts and stuff like that. They'd get all these shirts and they would have them in the store, and it would be like going to Goodwill. You can't even go to Goodwill anymore and find cool retro shirts, because I think they still all go to Japan. But we would go to this one store and they would have all these crazy off the wall shirts, but there was a mechanic's shirt, like a shop shirt, and it just had the circle name tag with cursive, and it said Mack, M-A-C-K, on the name tag. Not like Mack Trucks. Like the dude who owned that shirt, his name was Mack. And we would draw straws. The 4 or 5 of us that all hung out together, we would draw straws to see who got to be the Mac. And you were like, I get to be the Mac tonight. We all took those. We'd wash that fucking shirt in the sink and then hang it up to dry in one of our shops so that somebody else could wear it the next night. And we would go out and everybody's like, weren't you wearing that shirt last night? I was like, yeah, but it's his turn to be the Mac. Like, there was nothing that was yours. It was all community property. Like, you loaned everything you owned to all your shipmates. Because guess what? You all lived in the same fucking room. It's not like you didn't know where his shit was, but you'd forget. You'd loan people shit, then they would leave. They're like, oh, fuck, that dude's got like 4 or 5 of my t-shirts and my entire CD collection. I did not have, like, when I left my first ship, I did not have any of the original clothes. I didn't have any of the clothes I bought. All I had was shit that me and my buddy Sal had like tried. Like, hey man, can I wear that shirt tonight? I was going to wear that tonight. How about you wear this one? I'm like, that's a pretty cool shirt. I'll wear that. And we go out. Panzer is in New Zealand. So he's probably making lunch on a Saturday. So, man, this is such a good knife. Guys, if you can't find one of these, I'm hoping they re-release them. To Adave. Why is this starring all of those? To Adave. I'm surprised you're still up, buddy. Dave was going to come down this weekend, and then he remembered that it's Mother's Day. And I was like, oh, yeah. But see, my mother isn't here, and it's not wife day. Like, my daughter has to do something. Did I polywog? Of course. Why is this? Okay, I've got to figure out why it keeps starring comments. No, I was not I went from, yes, I polywogged to shellback. I crossed the fucking line 4 or 5 times. I crossed the equator. I crossed the equator on my first ship on my, when did I go? First trip to Australia. I went to Australia 4 times on that ship. I went across the equator way more times than that. Do I still have the stuff? Yes, I still have my stuff, Jack, somewhere in a box. I got my shellback certificate. I got my I had a little card. Semper Neptunus. Fuck yeah, I did. Mine still had the naked ladies on it. I went across long enough that there were still naked ladies on my certificate. Fucking Rocky did that, and all I could think of was Biodome. No, I am God. And he's wearing the parrot's head, and he's eating it, and he goes, no, I am God. And I was like, ooh, that's funny. Yeah, I have a lot of so some of my stuff has came up missing throughout the years. But the fact is, I'm like, a lot of people, like my buddy Tino's all like, well, you can't get rid of that. You got to keep that for your shadow box and stuff like that. I'm like, you know what? I've never been real sentimental about items that I had while I was in the military. And yeah, Nathan, I owe you bells. Sorry. No, I didn't forget. You guys are chilling. So you asked some questions and I'm responding. So I'm probably gonna end it in like about 50. I may make it all the way to the 2-hour mark, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm tired. But I've never been real sentimental about stuff that I had in the military. I have a few things that are really important. I have a few coins that are really important. I have some gear. Like I have my 8-point from when I was with Expeditionary Combat. I have a lithograph of my first ship. I have a hat for my first ship. I have a lighter for my first ship. But what I really had is some incredible memories and friends that will last a lifetime. I don't need the physical representations of that time in the military because the memories that I made in the military are so incredibly strong and they're going to last me a lifetime. And there's times that I just will sit and I think back to the stupid shit we did when I was like 20 years old, and it's amazing how much fun I had in such what feels like such a short period of time. But the fact was, I spent at when I retired, I had spent more time in the military than I had with my parents. And it just it felt like the blink of an eye. And if I could go back and do it, people are like, "Oh, if you could go back and do it again, would you change anything?" And I was like, "Fuck no." If I could go back and change anything, I wouldn't change a fucking thing. If I could go back to day 1 and people are like, "Oh, well, you could have maybe not went to Japan, and you could have maybe made better choices to get you like a higher rank, and you could have done this and avoided these." But if I changed those memories at all, man, it wouldn't be the same. I would change nothing. If given the chance to go back and redo everything all over again, even knowing the trials and tribulations I've had, the problems I've got, some of the mental issues I have from that time, and like some PTSD and stuff like that, regardless of any of those things, if I changed one of those things, I would not be who I am now. And I would be, it would change. Like if I had not, if I hadn't taken orders to Japan, I would have never met my wife. I had never met my wife. I wouldn't have a beautiful daughter. I wouldn't be dealing with the bullshit of having a 15-year-old child. Like, I could not imagine one thing I would change. Not one. Except I would definitely enjoy it more. And I would have told all my friends how much I appreciated them a little bit more. And I would have been friends that I know have passed. I would have absolutely told them more about how much they enriched my life. Those would be the things that I would do. Like, I wouldn't change anything that would change my life. I would absolutely just make sure that the people that I knew back then and absolutely appreciated, I would make sure that I let them know how much I appreciated them and that they were part of, because looking back and going back, like there were friends that I have that I didn't talk to for years, and I feel bad about that. Like we gave up a live feed here a while back. We gave up a live feed here a while back because a friend of mine from boot camp was in town, and I haven't talked to him in like 10 years. And I'm like, fuck, how have I let that time pass? So my military stuff is all in a bin. My wife had me go through and write out what it all means and was about for my daughter. I probably should do that. And I've got some stuff, but I've got some stuff that I do keep. Like I have my warfare pins that I earned. I had 3 warfare pins. I had EXW, I had expeditionary warfare, I had surface warfare, and I had um combat coxswain. I was craft master. So I had craft master pin, I had expeditionary combat pin, and I had my surface warfare. So I had 3 warfare pins. That was an unheard of thing. When I first joined the military, having surface warfare was like you had a surface warfare pin, that was something special. If you had 2 pins, you were real special. I had 3. So I used to wear them all on my hat. I got news for you. It's uncomfortable. You put your head back. You got 3 fucking warfare pins on the back of the little miniature, like the dinner dress ones. Whoo! You lean back, you're like, ooh, especially one of them comes through the nipple protector. So I would imagine I could ask my wife what she wanted. Let's try and see here. So let's see. Wait, you are real special too. Nah, I don't mean like window liquor. Like, I don't wear a hockey helmet but not play a sport. It's amazing how fast the time in the military does fly. And I think a lot of it's because you're just so busy. Like, it's a very like, people think about it, like, people look at the military and what they see is like Air Force, but what they don't see is like even like people look at the Navy and are like, ah, fucking Navy, what a cushy job. It's not. If Will B's still here, he can tell you. Like, being in the Navy, you're working 18-hour days a lot of times. 18 18-hour days, and some days you have an 18-hour day and then you're like, well, I would sleep, but I have a 4-hour fucking watch. Um, you know, but it's constant tempo. So the wife and I got married. First year we were married, I was at the I was on shore duty when we got married. I was on shore duty. We met. We got married. We were there for a year, and then I went on an individual augmentation, and I went to Iraq for 14 months, and then I came back and went to school for 8 months. And she was here for a lot of that. She was here in San Diego with me in housing, not in housing, but in the barracks with me. I was staying in, my friend hooked me up. I was in Chiefs barracks so I could have someone living with. So um we we lived in I was living in the Chiefs barracks because I had a friend, and because I was I was going back to Japan since I was stationed at Oconus and I was married. I had my wife in the barracks with me, and we had a pretty nice barracks room. I had a kitchenette, and everything. It was like a hotel room, and we lived there for. She was there with me for 4 months. So I took 30 days leave after I came back from Iraq. I took 30 days leave, and I was in Japan with her, and then I flew back to San Diego, here in San Diego, for school, and then she was here for like the last 3 months. So I was gone again for another 5 months. We got to my first ship after we got married, and they were in dry dock. And I got there. We pulled out of dry dock and immediately went on a 4-month deployment. My first year on that ship, which would have been, basically our third year together. Like, our second year that we were married, I was gone for all of it, and then 2 months of the next year. And then was home for a month, and then was gone for 5 more months before she came back and moved and came to the States with me. We got to our duty station. I got to my ship. We were in dry dock, which means I was working 10, 12-hour days because dry dock sucks. The ship got underway for 4 months after that. So we were in dry dock for 3 months, and then I left for 4 more months. And that third year, I was gone for 248 days. The first 5 years we were married, we spent like a year together, like maybe a year and a half total. In the first 5 years we were married, I was always gone. So, but she absolutely was amazing at taking care of all that. Like, she took care of everything. We so I'm on this ship. The op tempo was ridiculous. We were gone that ship was gone an average of 200 days a year. Every year that I was there. We were Alpha Whiskey. which means we're air warfare commander for the aircraft carrier. We were gone 200 between 200 and 230 days a year for 3 years. I took a month off. I took a month's vacation. We went to Ohio. We got a car. We drove out here to San Diego. We got here July 3rd, 2006. Right after that crazy op tempo. Got here 2006. Yeah. Got here July 5th, 2006. July 24th, I was on a C7 to Afghanistan or to Iraq for another 6 months. I had already been to Iraq for like 20 months at that point. Between Iraq and Bosnia, I had been on deployments, like combat deployments for 20 months already. And then I went for another 6. She was like, what the fuck? So she had when she had to take care of finding a house. When I left, I had helped her find a house, but we hadn't even moved in yet. So she had to do all the household goods and stuff. So when I flew out when I flew out on that C7, they had just delivered our household goods. We had been in the house for a week. We had nothing unboxed. None of our furniture had showed up yet. It was just like, it was an empty house. And I'm like, sorry, babe, I gotta go. And I threw all my shit in a Connex box and I flew to Iraq for 6 months. So like when I retired, it was like it almost ended our marriage. We were not used to being around each other. The time we had together was always amazing. Like she flew to Singapore one time when the ship was there. She flew to Hong Kong one time when the ship was there. It was yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not just sacrifice Superman. It affects wives, husbands, children, parents. Yeah, until I retired, I had never had a Christmas together with my wife. Because I would voluntarily take Christmas. I would take duty days for guys. Like I would work on Christmas for guys so that they could have time off, spend with their girlfriends and shit. I believe they're home. Which means that I'm going to end this. But yeah, it was interesting when I retired not having a duty day. I was like, we both realized I missed duty days. Duty is a 24-hour period where you stay on the ship. Like you come in the morning and you're going to do all the operations when everybody else leaves. So, well, guys, I'll tell you what, it's been an hour and a half. I'm going to end this. My wife and kid are here. So I haven't got to spend much time with them today. So, I will end this. So just Nate, when you get a chance, DM me. You don't need to send me all the proof who you are. I know who you are. So guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for hanging out. It's been a lot of fun. I'll talk to you later. Where's the end? Why is it not ending?